one of our favorite segments here, YouTuber Andrew Callaghan appeared on Don Lemon's show over at CNN to promote a new documentary, which looks really interesting. And he really triggered Don Lemon when he commented on the cable news business model. Let's take a listen.
The movie's not just about like the Capitol riot and all that. It's also about like media echo chambers. You know what I mean? And like the dangers of the 24-hour news cycle, and how I think mainstream media like Fox and even CNN like competes for views by running constant 24-hour news cycles based upon fear, division, outrage, and panic, probably to like sell ads. So it's not just about the Capitol riot.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. First of all, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I'm not exactly sure of how that played into people going into the Capitol and rioting on January 6th. There's nothing fake about CNN.
Oh, I'm not saying like fake news. I'm just saying ramping people up and increasing division during that period of time. Just watching people kind of fall down the rabbit hole and be pushed into action and like just, yeah, falling down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
Wow. He really triggered him there in the most Don Lemon way possible. I don't necessarily agree. And look, what you're watching is the lack of ability to grapple with what their job actually is. Andrew has them pegged properly. Their job is to gin people up so that they stay tuned in between the ad breaks. That's it. That's all you're supposed to do. The ad breaks are the only business. The actual news is just secondary. It's what gets people glued to the screen. And so he was like, look, you and Fox are both ginning people up, which causes people to go down rabbit holes. You do it for business purposes. And that has real world consequences in our politics, of which resulted in January 6th. I really appreciate him not just doing the typical like Fox News doing this, you know, they're the only ones. Because, yeah, look, of course they are, but it's everybody. The whole point is that it's an entire system which is designed to gin up hate against others and which can have devastating consequences then in the real world. And look, clearly Don didn't like that very much, and he doesn't want to take any responsibility for his own role over the last, 4 years, 5 years or whatever in the Trump era of doing the exact same thing that he accuses Fox of doing every single night, Krystal.
Yeah, and they want to say, oh, we're not as bad as Fox. We're not as bad as OAN. We're not as bad as like whoever. But, you know, ultimately CNN, MSNBC, all of them are kind of poison. They're all bad for the country. And so, you know, Andrew, who is a very interesting creator, a really strong creator, actually, I encourage you to check out his YouTube channel. He kind of has them dead to rights here. And at the beginning of the segment, they set it up like, you know, this is all about January 6th, this new documentary about January 6th. And he clearly takes issue with that and is like, well, you're kind of missing some of the point here, because you may want to use this to just exclusively serve the narratives that you're interested in. But there was actually a broader point here about the news media's role in this and the divisiveness of that and the problem with the 24-hour news cycle and serving your advertisers and keeping people glued to the screen. And he and Caitlin Collins both get very uncomfortable with that part of the conversation, immediately try to shut it down and move back to the points that they are comfortable opining on.
Yeah, I mean, I think I encourage people to watch this trailer and to check out the doc whenever it's out. I also watched Into the Storm, the QAnon documentary, and I just came away with that with like a much deeper understanding of like, wow, like this stuff is real. You know, people really can just lose themselves entirely in this. And it's a broader societal problem of which the media is complicit in, but there's also many other structural factors. And unfortunately, the Don Lemons of the world just simply don't want to question not even their own complicity, but what leads to society to like get to this point where people are so angry that they're willing to literally willing to storm the Capitol based on the word of Donald J. Trump. That's a really interesting question if you want to look into it. It doesn't have to be just, you know, like about other people being bad. But, you know, whenever you have the business model that they do, well, that really is the only one-dimensional view that you're allowed to take. So I really appreciated his appearance on CNN and kind of setting the record straight. I also love that he is just he's like, yo, come on. He's like, that's what you guys are willing to do here in his own very Andrew way. It was great.
The other thing that I enjoyed about this exchange is it was sort of like two worlds colliding, you know, they don't quite know what to do with him. And it is like a traditional media and new independent media like being oil and water effectively in this interview, where they're engaged in two very different processes and engaged in two very different activities. So it's kind of funny to see those two worlds collide, and Lemon and Caitlin Collins really having no idea what to do with him.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.